Yeah. It's Cassidy the hustler. Bars is back. It's all about the formula. Right now you watching Hoodlum ENT, and I need you to keep it locked and show him the respect he deserves, man. He giving it up, man. Crazy footage. Keep it locked. You heard it out the hustler mouth. Easy. I wasn't even 20 when I signed. 20 years ago, I battle rap with over 20 on the line. It's 2020, this the year, nigga, vision clear.
Right, so you let people know where we at right now, who we with, for those who don't know you if they don't.
I go by the name of Cassidy, the hustler. Bars is back. We in ATL right now. What's the name of the building we in?
Agenda Studios.
Huh?
Agenda Studios.
Agenda?
Like, what's on your agenda?
Oh, Agenda.
Oh.
Agenda Studios.
Cool.
Yeah,
All right. Yeah, all right. So I want to speak on the music tip as far as for this year so far. You just released two. Oh, I had to get something up for that. But you just released two projects because at first you were
It wasn't
released.
supposed to pop like that. It was calm. I thought that shit was pop different.
Good. All right. So you released the Scientist, the project just recently before the Formula. So even with releasing music for this year, 2020, like how was the process of actually making these projects?
I'm in my zone now. I got back to battle rap, got back to focusing on hip hop and getting in a certain zone. So I've been doing it for so long, it's easy to fall out of your zone after a while. You know what I mean? You get focused on other things, family, responsibilities, and you learn how shiesty the business is. You could lose interest in wanting to write all of the time. But the reason why I wanted to rap was to be the best, so I needed to find my hunger again, and that's why I got back into battle rap. Started hanging around with young, hungry artists again. Started listening to a lot of music that I wouldn't normally listen to. Dudes might not be following the science and follow the rules that I be requiring with my artists, but they still got a lot of hunger. A lot of the feel that I used to have when I was young, so that's what helped me get back the feeling of wanting to go hard. And once I got the feeling back, I just was banging out. It just come to me so easy because I put so much time in and I've been doing it for so long that once I get in my zone, it just naturally come and I'm able to make a bunch of music. So the clip was so full, all of the years that I was like not really focused, I still was making a bunch of music. So once I got focused, it's like quadruple the amount of music. So I knew I needed to release it and not hold on to it. So that's why I plan to drop 3 albums back to back in a 6-month time period. Just to feed the streets, not give it to them all at once because people's attention span is short now.
Yeah. But
I did want to release all of the music that I'm making. So I got a lot more to release even after these 3 projects.
All right, so for you anyway, like you said, like you're trying to feed the streets and they might not go follow the same standards or, you know, the code that you go by when you making music. So with your music so far pushing right now, do you feel like they're actually receiving, you know, the message anyway that you're putting out there in your music?
It depends on who you're talking about. Everybody different intellectual level. Everybody understand things differently. And everybody on a different time period. So some people might hear your music and understand it right away. Some people might understand it before you even drop it. That's why they can't wait for you to drop it, because they understand it already. Some people might not understand it for a few months. Like it might take them time to really figure out what you're doing because it's a little complicated. It might take some other people years. Like it might be like 5-10 years from now for them to figure out what you're doing. Just like things that I did 5-10 years ago, people still figuring out today. Like, yo, I just seen this freestyle when you was such and such, and it's something that was real popular 10 years ago to my fan base. Everybody knew about it. But there's people in the world that didn't know about it and just learning about it today. But that don't mean they don't like it just because they didn't get access to it yet. And I don't got the big machines behind me, so sometimes it be taking a little bit of time for people to get in tune. But this quality music is the hottest shit out, so as soon as people hear it, they definitely gonna fuck with it.
All right. And what you speaking on, you know, with the music and your history and so forth, like, did you even expect to be in music so far, like up until this day when you first started?
Nah, I never even thought about it, like how long I was gonna rap. I never thought about it. But I pretty much figured that I was gonna always rap forever because I love it. I just like impressing people with my words and getting better with the science. And I want to rap to be the best. And in order to become the best and then maintain being the best, you got to stay active. So I'm gonna probably constantly keep doing it. I don't never want to quit. Only people that want to quit is people that do it for other reasons, like business reasons. Once you reach a certain level or you make a certain amount of money, then you gotta quit or go to a different business where you can make more money. But I ain't in it for that. I'm in it to be the best, so I'm gonna always do it.
Gotcha. All right, so how long do you think it'll take for everyone to, like, because you know that you think you're the best and, you know, you have people around you that feel that you're the best. So how long do you feel until, you know, you get that message out there and they're receiving that message that you are the best? And
That's a tricky question too. Is people that felt I was the best 20 years ago. You know what I mean? When I was on the radio station in my city before I even got a record deal, there was a lot of people in the city that felt as though I was the best ever. You know what I mean? When I first got my record deal, I was on Ride or Die Volume 2, Rough Rider, Ride or Die Volume 3, and I was spitting those verses and battling a lot. People in the world thought I was the best. Go on my social media right now and it'll be a bunch of people putting, yo, you the GOAT, you the best, nobody can mess with you. So it's plenty of people in the world that feel that way right now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I already accomplished my job to a certain extent, you know what I'm saying? Because it is people in the world that do feel like I'm the best. And you're never going to be able to impress everybody because that's not how God made the world. It's like yin and yang is different people. People like completely opposite from each other. So it's going to be impossible for them people that's completely opposite from each other to like all of the same things. So even Michael Jackson, Elvis, the Beatles, Beyonce, Jay-Z, Drake, even those type of artists that's like super big, they still don't got all the support from everybody in the world. And you still can meet people that don't like them or could say things about their music or the music that they make. So just got to try to please as many people as you can in the fan base that you got, the people that think like you, see shit like you, or can relate to what you bringing to the table.
Gotcha. All right. And with you having such a long history in it to going up to right now, like, what is the fuel more so other than just being the best of why you actually still do music right now, why you actually just put out The Formula and you even got another project coming? Like, what's actually fueling you the most?
In this book of record shit, I want to do shit nobody else could do. That's how I could prove I'm the best. Not just, a lot of people judge rap off their opinion, you know what I mean? And I don't judge it off that. I judge it by the science. It's like a technique, it's an art. So that's what I judge it by. And I feel as though if I want people to understand the science more, I want people to understand how to analyze rap, how to judge it, how to break it down. I want people to understand the science. And I feel like I'm obligated to teach it to them. That's probably why I was able to learn like how I learned so early, go through what I went through, the ups and downs, and be in the position I'm in to be able to teach the science, because there's nobody else that could really do it. Like, I got relationships with like vets. Like, you know, I just was on the Clubhouse. That's like this new app everybody's talking on. We had a conversation and there was like legends on there like Dougie Fresh, and I was explaining the science and different things to them. And it's like they never even heard this information before, and these was legends even before I thought about rapping. So it's like things I'm bringing to the table that nobody could really explain, or nobody even really dug that deep to even figure out these things I'm bringing to the table. So that's why I got to keep doing it. Keep making music, keep making history, because the more I do that, the more attention I'm going to get, and the more I'm going to be able to teach the science to help the next generation of people that's going to do this shit even better. And the fans be even better, because they're going to analyze it better and demand more from the next wave of musicians.
Right. And right now, too, with your music and how the turn of hip-hop and rap is taking right now, like, what's your I want to say your opinion right now on hip-hop? Do you feel like it evolved from back when you first started, or it made, like, you know, it went backwards, or?
I feel hip hop is, when it first started, or when I first started, it was just getting out of the being a fad thing. Like people thought hip hop was gonna come and go for a minute, and then once they realized it was a big business, they wasn't still putting respect on hip hop like other forms of music. But now it's the biggest form of music in the world. Like, you know what I'm saying? Hands down, like rap is the biggest form of music, so that showed that it grew a lot. You know what I mean? People that's interested in rap is a lot more interested now because the time has been around, and then more people that wasn't interested is interested now because they familiar with it. So it definitely grew and it got bigger. And as far as the science go, it advanced. You know what I'm saying? Some people think that the rappers out is not as good as they could be because they used to the science a certain way. Like they came in hip hop when the science was a certain way and they expected to keep advancing and growing. And they also in tune with like underground artists or artists that might not got the machine behind them like me that is advancing the science, so they know it's possible. So they frustrated with what they hear on the radio. But if you compare the type of music that they making now to the type of music that they was making like in the early 2000s or even in the 90s and the 80s, it's advanced as far as the science go, like the amount of figurative language they using, the syllables and the words that they using, and the amount of syllables that they rhyming and piecing up, and the type of flows, like the adjustments of the flow, like where you put the rhyme at. Like back in the day, the rhyme was always on the 4, like it's 4 beats in a bar, and the rhyme was always on the 4. Now, people could start the rhyme on the 1, they could rhyme on the 1 and the 2, the rest of the flow in so many different directions now, and they just sound normal to your ear because people been doing it for so long. But if you match that with music from back in the day, it wasn't nobody doing it. And only the best of the best was even making little attempts at it. That's why the people learned from them and started to do it a lot. You know what I mean? And especially if you're talking about the music I'm making, like my music is super advanced from what people was doing back in the day. And even the form of what I'm doing is advanced from what I used to do back in the day. It's just the first time you heard something like this was back in the day when I first came. So people was more amazed. When I was like a teenager and I was rapping like this and it's your first time you ever heard a human do something like this, it's like, oh my goodness. But if you just keep hearing me do it year after year after year after year, then I do it 20 years later, you might still be like, damn, this nigga's still sick. But it's not going to give you the same feeling as like the first high. It's like when you hit dope, you always chasing the first high. You know what I'm saying? It's not like the dope got weaker or nothing. It's just you used to it. You immune to it now. Like, you know what I'm saying?
The potent.
So, but in order for me to stay as hot as I am now after 20 years, the level of the science that I'm using had to advance. And I could break it down. Like, I want to start a school to help people understand it. Like, to understand how the form of rap that I used to do was more simple than the form of rap that I do now. And if people understood it, they would understand that I'm way nicer, and a lot of people did get nicer, but a lot of people got worse. And I don't want them to be able to just judge by if the machine behind you, if the people cutting the checks or not, they determine whether a person fell off or not. And that's not true. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
I want them to be able to judge by the real skill.
Right. Alright, and with you, like I said, with you having such a catalog and, you know, a long time doing it, do you feel like sometimes it's like an obligation for you to reach back out and try to help other artists coming up or to give them that knowledge?
I don't feel everybody obligated to do the same thing. Like every artist might not be obligated to help the youth coming up, but I feel like I am. Like I got the jewels, I got the codes, the information that nobody else don't got. And if I don't pass it off to somebody and help them learn it to be able to keep passing it off, then what was the point of me learning it? So I feel like that's what I gotta do. A lot of artists is just around. They might be like popular, making money, and they might could pass certain things down. Maybe fashion ideas, maybe a dance move, you know what I mean? Maybe like how to be more social on social media platforms and stuff like that. Like they might got advice with that. But you know what I'm saying, they don't really got no advice as far as how to come up with better songs or write bars, because a lot of these artists don't even write. So, you know what I mean, I think I'm around to give the real information how you can become a better artist, and not the business side, not just how to make the people that's cutting the checks money, but how to really be a monster regardless if you got anybody behind you. You just a monster on your own because you know the science and you know how to do what you want to do.
Do you still write?
Sure, every day.
Alright.
I'm never gonna stop, man. That's all I do, and I still writing books too. I was around when people made the transition. Like some of the first people, like Game and like different artists, they started writing on their phone, like when like 2 ways and the text type of phones came out. People started writing on their phones, but I did that before. Then wrote on my computers, then wrote in my head like big where I don't write at all. I did every form of recording before, but my favorite is having a pen and paper. Like that's when you could get the best thoughts out and you could think the deepest and you could bring the best thoughts to the table. And sometimes the people that say that they don't write or they don't do certain things, it don't make you better as a rapper. Some people think like you more of an alien or you doper when you do that. Nah, it's not really make you doper. It's just actually require you to use extra parts of your brain that's like is purposeless. It's like you're not proving nothing by, like, I'm gonna give people an example. Like if you don't write, if you don't use paper, it's no difference if you was writing. You still gotta think. People think that people that don't write is just freestyling off the top of their head. Like the first thought that come to their mind is these lyrics you hear, and that's not what it is. They think the same amount of time, if not more, as a person that's writing. But once they think of the line, instead of a normal person to think of the line or the rhyme and then write it down. But instead of them writing it down, whether they're going to think of the whole verse, they'll just keep saying it over and over again and keep saying it. After you say something about 10 times, you got it locked in your head. And then they'll go to the next line to where they partially memorized it. And then they'll keep doing that until they finish the verse and go lay it. Or you got the older like veterans that don't write, like Jay-Z. He won't think of the whole verse all of the time. Sometimes he might think of 2 bars or 4 bars to the flow and go in there and lay that and just lay the 4 bars and they be like, yo, that's crazy. Then he think of the next 2 to 4 bars, then he lay that, and then next thing you know he think of some more like he writing, but instead of writing it down he just lay it, and then next thing you know the verse done, and they like, yo, he's a genius, he ain't even right. But it's the same process as writing. It's just like, you know what I mean, whatever make you feel good, whatever you feel comfortable with doing to be creative, do what you do. But everybody know the best writers of all time really wrote, like on paper. Like,
yeah, the fundamentals of it. Alright, and how you were saying like whatever works for you or whatnot, like what was a certain vibe or mindset you had to get into to actually make the formula and these projects, as far as, okay, we're gonna put these songs on here and put them out, or even just, oh, we gotta rush to put this track on there?
Nah, it was no rushing. It was the direction I did with these projects, like the science was the first one. So I wanted the science to be like more like when I first started rapping, but for the deals, but for the budgets, but for the business when I was just like hungry. So all of the songs is more like make your face frown up, they like harder. It's like a more grimy feel to the whole record. I'm not trying to like do no top 40 songs, no songs for the ladies. I'm not really trying to be in the clubs. It's beats per minute that could bang in the club, but it's not like a club song. It's
right.
Just like I'm going in directions that'll have you like this through the whole tape on the science. That was on purpose. And a lot of people thought that was dope. But yo, he might be missing club songs or girl songs or conscious songs. Like we in a deep time right now. But this was all planned. I just know, like, you know what I mean, how people think and how it works. So that's why the formula is even deeper. So now, not only is it the songs that could put that frown on your face like the science, but it's also conscious songs, deep songs that make you think. Like, you know what I'm saying, songs strictly for the ladies, songs strictly for the clubs, like directly, like made for the club. It's songs made for the islands, like the world. Like it's songs just like different type of big records that can cross over on top 40 radio. Like those type of songs is on the formula. And then the Wise Man is going to get even deeper than that. But it's like, you know what I'm saying, I'm going to touch on a lot of different topics on the Wise Man, but it's going to be a lot deeper and show just my wisdom and my experience. You know what I'm saying? And the information that I got that it'll take you so many years to get, even if you is nice now. So that's what the wise man gonna do. And it was intentional. I just planned it like that. So I had all of these songs already done. You know what I'm saying? But to narrow it down and put them in the right place for the right album was really the task. You know what I'm saying? To make sure that they fit the right mood that I wanted to bring to the table.
Alright. Alright. And when it comes to you making the music and also then, you know, having a side on the battle rapping, like which one would you say that you prefer the most, or it's always, you know, a certain time for either or?
Battle rap is my favorite part of rap, but me actually battle rapping, I'm not really a fan of it no more because I understand the science and I understand like this new form of battle rap is not really battling. It's not really proving who the best, and they not really like testing me. Like I know the level of the science that they using, and it's like a back in the day level that I used to use. Like the same level that I was using when I was 17 is what like most of the battle rappers using now. So it's not like I'm not like really impressed or like wanting to battle like how when I was a kid. Like I wanted to prove the niggas that I was the best. I wanted niggas to see how nice I was. Like I wanted niggas to hear me. But now niggas already heard me. They already know I'm nice. Like all y'all need to do is just hear the last thing I put out and you could tell that I'm the nicest nigga in the world. So I need like I want to battle. I like being competitive, but I just want it to be like worth my while. I want it to be something like some type of competition. Like dudes that's been putting in work a long time like me that got a resume that feel like they want some smoke. Then I'll be like excited and then I'll be happy to battle. And I've been calling people out my whole career to battle on tracks. Like letting niggas know like I'm not to be played with. And if I feel like anybody like indirect or like being subliminal, I'ma let them know. I'ma get right on them and let them know like I'ma give it up to anybody on beat. But this new form of battle rap, it's like a business. It's not really battle, so I'm not like a super fan of it. And that's why you see it changing now. Like the culture is demanding this new form of battle rap to slightly change. Because it's like wrestling. It's like WWF. It's like a game. It's it's like action a little bit. It's like a little entertaining. But it ain't real. It ain't like real boxing with niggas getting these shit rocked or the UFC where you see blood every fight and niggas is getting choked out and like die getting a bone broke or something. Like you ain't gonna see nothing like that happen.
Nah.
Most you might see is niggas go under the ring, bust a blood pack, come out acting like they hurt. It's the most you gonna see in that shit, man.